My name is Oliver Westmoreland. I'm a consultant with GSN Immigration. Today I'm going to talk about the new skilled worker route. Now, the new skilled worker route came into effect on 1st of December 2020 and it replaced the old Tier 2 skilled worker scheme. So the nomenclature Tier 2 is dead. We now talk about the skilled worker scheme or the skilled worker route. I think perhaps the main thing that's important is that it's more liberal than the Tier 2 scheme that it replaced. You may know that with the Tier 2 skilled worker scheme, in many cases the employer in the UK had to advertise the job position in question to try and ensure that a non-EEA national didn't take a job that could have been done by somebody resident in the UK. This, the resident labour market test, as it was called, has been abolished. There is no longer any requirement for employers to advertise the position. Another important, significant change is that the job levels for skilled worker visa are considerably lower than they were for Tier 2 skilled worker visa. Tier 2 jobs had to be at least at RQF Level 6, which means a bachelor's degree level job, roughly speaking. It didn't mean that the person had to have a bachelor's degree, but it did mean that the job had to be at bachelor's degree level or standard. Well, that's being changed very significantly. The minimum level is now being dropped to RQF Level 3, which means that the job only has to be a job which requires which is similar to a A-level standard job, and of course that is a lot different. That makes a big difference. Many jobs are being now opened up to the new skilled worker visa, which weren't open to the Tier 2 skilled worker route. So this really is another big change. Another change, maybe a smaller change, but perhaps interesting to know. Under the Tier 2 skilled worker scheme, there was a cap on the number of visas that could be granted. In many cases, the cap wasn't reached, but sometimes it was. If for that month the cap had been reached, your Tier 2 visa application would be held back until probably the next month. So it could delay things for some people. This cap is being removed. There is no longer any cap on the skilled worker visa route. Another thing could be quite important to some people. Switching rules, switching visas within the UK is being made easier than it was before. So really all these changes put together make a really quite considerable change. The new route is a lot more liberal, a lot less onerous than the route that it replaced. Now, in some ways, things are the same. The employer sponsor system is staying as it was. It's no longer called the Tier 2 sponsorship system, it's now called the skilled worker sponsorship system, logically enough. As before, employers in the UK, if they want to employ a skilled worker, they have to acquire a sponsor licence from the Home Office. This is an application which is made to the Home Office by email and by the submission of hard copy physical documents, which show that the employer is a proper bona fide organisation which follows the rules and pays its taxes and so on and so forth. For a UK employer to be able to employ or to sponsor, as the term goes, to sponsor an employee, first of all they must have got the skilled worker sponsor licence, and then they must issue a certificate of sponsorship, COS. I'm not going to go into this in huge detail today, but certificate of sponsorship, COS as we call it, is a virtual document that's created and issued online. Don't forget, very importantly, if you're an EEA national, from the 1st of January 2021, you will be subject to these new rules. As the way the government puts it, from 1st of January 2021, everyone's going to be treated equally. It sounds wonderful. What it actually means is that Europeans are going to lose all the advantages that they had, and they're going to be treated the same as everybody else. Now there will, as before, be an English language requirement. EEA Nationals did not have to meet any English language requirement, but now they will from the 1st of January 2021 onwards, like everybody else, and the requirement, unless you're a national of an majority English-speaking country, or you have a UK university degree, or you have a degree taught in English, the requirement will be an English exam to the level of B1. Now, the advertised processing times, as advertised by the Home Office, applications made outside the UK, the advertised processing time is 3 weeks. Applications made in the UK, switching visas, the advertised time is 8 weeks. You can apply for your visa 3 months before the start date, when you want your visa to start. And of course, like everything else with the Home Office, or at least most things with the Home Office, there are fees to pay. There's an application for a skilled worker visa from outside the UK of £610, and for a skilled worker visa from inside the UK, £704. Now, there may or there may not be an IHS health surcharge fee to pay. It depends on exactly which kind of visa you're applying for. And you may have to show financial maintenance, i.e. money in the bank, if your employer is not prepared to certify that they will look after your financial situation for the initial period of the visa. If for some reason the employer won't do this, and generally they will, I think, but if they won't for any reason, you must show that you've got £1,270 in the bank and it's been there for at least 28 days. Thank you very much for listening to my vlog and watching my vlog. I hope you found it useful and informative. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch subsequent blogs on various other interesting immigration subjects. So I hope to see you next week, when I will be discussing something else similarly interesting about UK immigration.